dear students, and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today we are studying the chapter Structure of Chromosomes, Cell Cycle and Cell Division. Now this is for Biology ICSE class 10 and this is the part 1. So in part 1 we'll be talking about structure of chromosomes and in part 2 we'll be talking about cell cycle and cell division. So today let's concentrate on structure of chromosomes. Okay, so what are chromosomes basically? So first let us talk about chromatin fibers. Okay, what are chromatin fibers? Let's talk here. See children, can you see here in the nucleus there is this thread-like structure. Okay, this thread-like structure when it condenses, it forms chromosomes. So they are thread-like structures located inside the nucleus of animal and plant cells. Now, each chromosome is made up of protein and a single molecule of deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA. So, they are thread-like structure located where? In the nucleus of both plant and animal cell, made up of protein and a single molecule of DNA. Now, passed from parents to offspring, DNA contains, so now DNA contains what? The specific instructions that make each type of living creature unique. Okay, so whatever we inherit from the parents, okay, so all of us have a different DNA, but it is passed from our parents to us. So passed from parents to offsprings, DNA contains specific instructions that make each type of living creature unique. Okay, we will talk about this later in the coming slides. But understand this thing that they are thread-like structures located inside the nucleus of plant and animal cells made up of protein and DNA. And DNA contains specific instructions that make each and every person unique. Okay. So chromosomes word kahan se aaya? The term chromosomes comes from the Greek words for color. So chroma means color and soma means body. Okay, so scientists gave this name to chromosomes because they are cell structure, ऐसी bodies, ऐसे cell structures, okay, the cell structures or bodies that are strongly stained by some colorful dyes. So when you take a plant cell or animal cells, okay, and you put some dyes, okay, colored dyes, so that you are able to see it under a microscope. So these chromosomes are stained very strongly. तो उनका color बहुत dark से दिखता है. So we are easily able to see those chromosomes under a microscope. So what are chromosomes? They are those bodies in a cell which get stained by a colorful dye very strongly. That is why they have been given the name chromosomes. So let's talk about definition of chromosomes. So first, can you see here this noodle-like structure? They are called chromatin. Can you see here? They are known as chromatin or chromatin fibers. Now they condense to form this type of a structure. Okay, this type of a structure. This is known as chromosomes. So chromosomes are highly condensed coiled chromatin fiber. Now how they are coiled, around what they are coiled, this we will talk about later in the coming slides. So understand that what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are highly condensed coiled chromatin fibers. So these noodle-like structures, when they are highly condensed, then it forms chromatin fibers. Okay. So see here, these structures are known as thread-like structures are known as chromatin or chromatin fibers, and when they become highly condensed, then they are known as chromosomes. Okay. So chromatin fibers, when they condense, highly condensed and coiled chromatin fibers are known as chromosomes. So here there is a centromere in between constricted part and these are the arms. Okay, we'll talk about the structure in detail. First let's talk about how chromosomes were discovered. So chromosomes were first discovered in 1882 by a German scientist, Walther Fleming. Okay, Walther Fleming. He noticed in the rapidly dividing cells of the larvae of salamander. So salamander, my dear children, I think you all know what is salamander. It is an amphibian Okay, so in the larvae of salamander, okay, rapidly dividing cells of the larvae of salamander, this was discovered for the first time, and the microscope he used was of old type, and through it he saw minute threads that appear to be dividing lengthwise. Now Fleming called their division mitosis. Okay, mitosis. We will study mitosis in detail in part 2. So Fleming called their division mitosis, which literally means thread. Now let's talk about structure of chromosomes. So each chromosome in the condensed form as is visible during the start of the cell division. So before cell division starts, the chromatin fibers are like this, okay, in the nucleus. This is the nucleolus and the chromatin fibers are like this. So just before the start of the cell division, it condenses and forms something like this. Okay, so it consists of two chromatids. Can you see? There are two chromatids. This is one chromatid. Okay, this is one chromatid and this one is another chromatid. Okay, so these two chromatids are joined at some point along the length, and this point of attachment is known as centromere. So can you see this point of attachment where they are joining? This is known as centromere. The short arm is usually termed as P arm and the long arm is termed as Q arm. So this is how the condensed chromosomes looks like. Okay. So here again I have drawn the structure. Centromere appears as a small constricted region. So what is centromere? It is a small constricted region which joins the two chromatids. So the centromere also serves to attach to the spindle fiber during the cell division. So whenever cell division is happening, this is attached to a spindle fiber from here and from here. Okay. Now each chromosome's centromere is located at a particular site. तो हर chromosome का centromere एक particular site पे locate होता है. Now when it is joined to spindle fibers, now what happens? See, the spindle fibers has shortened. So when it has, it is pulled away. When the spindle fiber is contracting, so these sister chromatids are pulled away from the centromere. Can you see? So earlier it was like this. See, earlier this was a chromatid and this was a chromatid. They were joined like this. Now the spindle fiber is pulling them apart. Okay. So as the spindle fiber contracts, the sister chromatids are separated at the centromere and each is pulled away from the other towards the two poles of the dividing cells. So the chromosomes break at centromeres and sister chromatids move to opposite ends of the cell. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Now, after the completion of the cell division, so after this has been, goes there and there are two different cells formed like this. Okay. After that, what happens? The chromatids now, after completion of cell division, the chromatids now called chromosomes, they decondense. फिर से they decondense again and revert to their very long and fine thread-like chromatin fibers. They again become chromatin fibers like this. Can you understand? So they decondense after the cell division. So now let's talk about chromatin or chromatin fibers. So chromatin material that constitute the fiber is formed of two substances. One is DNA, another is histones. So DNA we all know, deoxyribonucleic acid, and the chromatin fiber is made up of about 40% of DNA and 60% of histones. What are histones? Histones is a particular type of protein. So chromatin fiber is made up of 40% DNA and 60% of protein known as histones. Okay. So what it is basically, when you see this, that DNA is wound around histones. Can you see here in this diagram? Okay. See here, these are spherical bodies. These are known as histones. So there are 4 on the above and 4 below this. Okay. इसी के नीचे there are more 4. So total 8 histones are there, around which the DNA is wound in 2 or 3 rounds. DNA is wound, and each particular this thing is known as nucleotide. Okay, and then this nucleotide condense to form this chromosomes. Okay, so chromatin material constitute of these histones and this DNA. Histone is there and DNA is wound around it. Okay, 8 histones ke around there is DNA wound. So I will again repeat this. DNA wraps around proteins called histones to form units known as nucleosomes. So what are nucleosomes? When on the histones the DNA is wrapped, it is known as nucleosome. And then these units condense into chromatin fiber, which condense further to form a chromosome. Have you understood? So there are histones, there are 8 histones around which DNA is wound like this. DNA is wound around it. It forms nucleotides. Nucleotide. These nucleotides condense to form chromatin fibers. They condense to form chromosomes. Okay. Now, so let me repeat. The DNA strand winds around the core of 8 histone molecules. What is the number? 8. 8 histone molecules. This core can be imagined like a football around which a long rope is wound with 1 or 2 loops. And each such complex is called a nucleosome. So I hope you have understood what is the nucleosome. When there are 8 histone molecules around which DNA strand is wound, lapeta gaya hai DNA strand unke around, and then this core can be imagined like a football. Okay. और ऐसा एक कॉम्प्लेक्स 8 हिस्टोन्स अराउंड विच डीएनए इज वुंड इज नोन एज अ न्यूक्लियोसोम. ओके. और एक क्रोमोसोम में अराउंड 1 मिलियन न्यूक्लियोसोम्स होते हैं. ओके. अ सिंगल ह्यूमन क्रोमोसोम में हैव अराउंड 1 मिलियन न्यूक्लियोसोम्स. नाउ दीज न्यूक्लियोसोम्स compress or they form chromatin fiber. Okay, they condense to form chromatin fiber. Chromatin fiber condense to form chromosomes. So let's differentiate between chromosomes and chromatin fiber or just chromatin. So chromatin fiber तो unwound DNA है. DNA ऐसे ही बिखरा हुआ है. It is not wound around something. Whereas chromosomes are tightly packed DNA. Now chromatin is found throughout the interphase. So in the next part when I teach you what is interphase, you will understand that कि throughout the interphase जब division actual start नहीं हुआ है, at that time chromatin fibers are found throughout, whereas chromosome is found only during cell division. So only during cell division this chromatin fibers condense to form chromosomes. Okay. Now DNA is being used for macromolecule synthesis. So when it is in the fiber form, at that time that DNA is used for the manufacture or for the production of macromolecules. But in chromosomes, when it is in the condensed form, the DNA is not being used for macromolecule synthesis. Not being used. I hope this is clear. Now let's talk in detail about the structure of DNA. So the shape of DNA molecule was studied by Rosalind Franklin in 1953. Okay, and the structure was finally worked out. Who drew the final structure? Watson and Crick, and that too in the same year 1953. So first it was studied by Rosalind Franklin, and then the structure was finally worked out by Watson and Crick in 1953 itself. So this DNA is a very large single molecule. You have to pay attention. DNA is a very large one molecule. That is why when I was teaching you chromosome, in the very first slide I told you chromosome contains proteins and one DNA molecule. Okay, and hence it is described as macromolecule. Macro means big. So DNA is described as a macromolecule. It is composed of 2 complementary strands wound around each other in a double helix. So you can see this is one strand. Okay, this is one strand and this is another strand. So these 2 strands are wound around. Okay, so they are known as 2 complementary strands wound around each other in a double helix. This is known as a double helix. So the structure of DNA is called a double helix, which looks like a twisted staircase. You know, this is how a staircase looks like, isn't it? So when you twist the staircase, when you twist it, it looks something like this. So this structure is known as a double helix. What is it known as? Double helix. Okay, I hope this is very clear to you. Now, the sugar and phosphate. So you can see this brown color, that is the backbone. So the sugar and phosphate makes up the backbone, while the nitrogen bases are found in the center and hold the two strands together. So in between, can you see these colorful strands? Okay, so these are all nitrogen bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. So these are in between, these are in the center and they hold the two strands together. Now, the nitrogen bases can only pair in a certain way, that A can pair only with T and C can pair only with G. So remember at CG, okay, cardiogram, at cardiogram, you remember it like this, कि A will be, can only pair with T and C can only pair with G. Okay, they cannot pair otherwise. A cannot pair with C or A cannot pair with G. No, A can pair only with T, T can pair only with A. Similarly, C can pair only with G, G can pair only with C. Okay, so you remember at cardiogram. Okay, so phosphate and sugar are the backbone and these nitrogen bases are inside. So due to this base pairing, okay, we know due to this base pairing of A with T and C with G, the DNA strands are complementary to each other. That is why we say that they are complementary to each other and they run in opposite directions. And they are called anti-parallel strands. This word is very important. The DNA strands are anti-parallel strands. Okay? So this word is used very frequently. Anti-parallel strands. Due to why they are complementary to each other? Due to the base pairing. Okay. So now let's talk in detail about the structure. So what nucleotide? I already told you 8 histones and DNA wound around it is nucleotide. Now each DNA strand is composed of repeating nucleotide which are made of 3 components. Now when I'm talking about nucleotide, it is made up of 3 components. One is phosphate. Okay, so the circular part represents phosphate. The second is sugar. So this is a particular sugar, pentose sugar, which is pentose. Pent means 5. So we have made a pentagon like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentagon. And then a nitrogenous base is joined to it. Now nitrogenous base can be anything. A, T, C, G, kuch bhi ho sakta hai, right? So each DNA strand is composed of repeating nucleotide which are made up of 3 components: phosphate, sugar which is pentose, arranged lengthwise. So they are arranged lengthwise. Okay, this one. And a nitrogen base is attached to the sugar inwards. So this nitrogen base is inwards, attached to the sugar and it is inwards. So if you see a DNA strand like this, can you see a nucleotide here? Okay. So this is the phosphate group. This circle is the phosphate group. This is the sugar group. Okay. And this is the nitrogen base. Can you see C is there? In the next one, the nitrogen base is changed. Now A is there. In the next nucleotide, the nitrogen base is G. In the next nucleotide, the nitrogen base is T. So in all these nucleotides, they are attached to the complementary, they are attached to the other nucleotide through the complementary nitrogen base. So a nitrogen base extends to join by hydrogen bond. Can you see the bonding here? Wait, let me rub this out. Okay, can you see the bonding here between C and G, between A and T? Okay, so there are hydrogen bonds. So what they are saying, a nitrogen base extends to join. How they join? By a hydrogen bond. So they extend to join the complementary nitrogen base from the other strand. Okay. Thus the two strands together make a ladder-like arrangement with the nitrogen bases forming the rungs of the ladder. Can you see this diagram that I have drawn here? Okay. So if this is a ladder, these are known as the rungs. Okay, this is known as the rungs. So here the nitrogen bases are acting as the rungs of the ladder. Okay. Now one more thing, if you must have noticed here, this A and T are attached by double bonds, whereas C and G are attached by triple bonds, isn't it? Triple hydrogen bonds. So there are 4 bases. Adenine, you have to remember the spelling very well. You cannot go wrong with the spelling. Adenine, guanine, okay, guanine, cytosine and thymine. Okay, so adenine pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds. Adenine pairs with thymine with 2 hydrogen bonds, whereas guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. So C and G, in between C and G there are 3 bonds, whereas in between A and D there are only 2 bonds. Remember this. Always when you draw the diagram, remember to make this red colored arrow. Can you see this red colored arrows? Okay, they are showing that it is in the twisted form. Okay, can you see here? This phosphate is up, but here for this the phosphate is down. Okay, so they are twisted. Now let's talk about formation of new DNA. So during the interphase of cell cycle, I will tell you interphase in the next class. So just remember that during the cell cycle, when it is just about to divide. Okay. So during the interphase of the cell cycle, each DNA molecule, that is the chromosome, it duplicates, okay, in readiness for their equitable distribution in the 2 daughter cells during mitosis. Now what does it mean? It duplicates, 2 बनाता है, so that it is ready for its equitable distribution, ताकि वो उसका equal distribution कर सके, to form daughter cells during mitosis. Mitosis is the process where the DNA is duplicated and then it is replicated. तो अभी आपको ये समझना है कि each DNA molecule duplicates, okay, ताकि उसका equitable distribution हो सके और फिर उसका replication हो सके. अब replication के वक्त क्या है, देखिए ध्यान से. For replication, the DNA double helix opens at one end. So this is the helix. Okay, can you see it is opening at one end? So if it is like this, okay, this is the double helix. Now it is opening at one end. Okay, and it is forming like this now. Are you getting it? So it is opening at one end, making the 2 strands free. अब ये 2 strands free हो गए हैं. Okay, free, on which या to which new strands begin to form. अब यहाँ नए स्ट्रैंड हो जाएंगे फॉर्म करना बिगिन. ओके, लाइक दिस. So this is maybe from the mother, the red is from the father, something like this. Okay, so now the new strands begin to form and the process continues in sequence for the whole length of the DNA. I hope this is clear. DNA duplicates in readiness for the equitable distribution in the 2 daughter cells. The DNA double helix open at one end in the replication so that the 2 ends are free, and new strands begin to form and the process continues in the sequence for the whole length of DNA. So then what are genes? Many students get confused here ki what are genes. Okay, so watch here very carefully, children. So a section of DNA strand is known as gene. So gene DNA का एक छोटा सा part है. Okay, so genes is the specific sequence of nucleotide, you can say, or in simple word you can say gene is a section of the DNA strand. DNA strand का एक section है और DNA strand में क्या होते हैं, न्यूक्लियोटाइड का सीक्वेंस होता है, राइट. सो जीन्स आर अ स्पेसिफिक सीक्वेंस ऑफ अ न्यूक्लियोटाइड ऑन अ क्रोमोसोम. सी हियर, वेट, लेट मी चेंज द कलर. So what are genes? Genes are a specific sequence of a nucleotide on a chromosome that encodes particular protein. ठीक है, तो अगर एक पर्टिकुलर सीक्वेंस है, so it will encode a particular protein. Now how does this express? Express means कैसा दिखता है. Okay, so I will again repeat. Genes are the specific sequence of nucleotide on a chromosome that encodes a particular protein which is expressed in the form of some particular feature of the body. So suppose I say कि I have blue eyes, okay, and that's the gene that I've inherited from my mother, okay. So this gene, okay, this particular protein, this is the code of certain protein, okay. So this encoding of the particular protein has expressed itself in the form of eye color, okay. So genes are the specific sequence of nucleotide, or genes is a section of the DNA strand that encodes a particular protein and which is expressed in the form of a some particular feature of the body. तो मुझे blue eyes के genes mother से मिले हैं और tall height के genes father से मिले हैं. So that tall height का specific sequence of nucleotide from my father's DNA has been copied into my DNA, right? So in my DNA, a specific section of the DNA strand was from my father and which is expressing in the form of my height. Is that clear? What are genes? So genes is not full DNA. Genes is a small section of the DNA strand, okay, that encodes a particular protein which expresses in the form of some particular feature of our body. I hope this is very, very clear to you all. So if you have understood chromosomes, DNA, everything in detail, do write in the comment section. If you have not yet subscribed, do subscribe to Zenith Academy Online instantly and tap on the bell icon